is one of those things that we all need, but why is it so hard to get? We're all told that we need at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep to clear out the toxic waste in our brains, allow our cells to repair, and boost our immune systems. Now, I've had insomnia for 10 to 15 years, and I've tried so many different things, such as meditating, no blue light, and exercising regularly, but I still could not sleep. That, or I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. Then I'd fall into this cycle where first I can't sleep, then I'd be tired the next day, so I'd take a nap or drink some caffeine, but then I can't sleep the next night again, and the cycle repeats. There are so many different causes for insomnia, and it is a little different for everyone, but today I'll go over 8 ways to deal with insomnia naturally. What is up, everyone? It's Everyday Jan. My channel is all about making everyday yours through health, wealth, and everyday life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos. Let's jump right into it. Stress and anxiety is a huge cause for insomnia nowadays. Our human brains are wired for survival. Back in the days, if there was a predator like a tiger, our brains would produce chemicals to keep us alert. I mean, if you're running away from a tiger, you definitely don't want to be sleeping, right? But in today's society, we're not running away from tigers and lions anymore. At least I hope not. Instead, we have so many other different things that are causing us stress, like work, finances, relationships, health, being able to get enough sleep. I mean, the list can go on. And these stresses literally prevent our minds from going into relaxation and sleep mode because we lay awake in bed with our minds wandering from one thing to the next. Then we think about what we have to do the next day, and then we're scared we're gonna forget it, so we get up and we write it down, and then we just can't sleep. But these thoughts are really not helpful when we're trying to sleep. There are so many different techniques that people try to get their brains into relaxation mode so that they can fall asleep. Things like breathing technique, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, listening to bedtime stories, or even journaling to get your thoughts out. These are all great and helpful. The one that I've enjoyed the most is the phone app called Headspace because they have many various options and utilize many different techniques. However, for me personally, those only worked for a certain extent. I would do all these different exercises and get sleepy, but then when it was all done, I'd be wide awake again and I'd be stressed because I'd realize I just completed a 45-minute meditation and I still haven't fallen asleep. It didn't address the underlying problem, which was my stress and anxiety. But when I changed my mindset around sleep, that's when I started to notice a real difference. Instead of worrying about getting a certain number of hours of sleep or that I had to be in bed by a certain time, I decided to just care less and listen to my body. So instead of forcing myself to sleep when I wasn't even tired, I would just stay awake a little bit longer and I would do something relaxing. For me, that's reading. If you need any book recommendations, check out one of my friends' channel, Eliza's Bookshelf. And then when I start to feel sleepy, then I turn off the lights and fall asleep. If I still find my mind wandering, then I listen to raindrop sound. And by concentrating on the sound of raindrops, it helps me feel at ease and stops me from having those intrusive thoughts. In fact, I also found that I don't always need 8 hours of sleep every day. Some days I'd get 5 or 6 hours and I'd still get enough deep and REM sleep, which I measured using my Oura Ring, and that was good enough for me. Now there's still some days where I'd get 5 to 6 hours and I would feel like crap. But by simply worrying less about that, it has overall helped my well-being. The bottom line is simple, but it won't happen overnight. Change your mindset about sleep. This will allow you to be less stressed and naturally your sleep will improve. So moving on to number 2, create the most ideal sleep environment that you can. If it's still bright outside or there's just a lot of light, it's hard for your body to wind down. So you need to trick your brain into thinking that it's bedtime. I use blackout blinds and also eye shades. Have you ever noticed that when you go on vacation and stay at a hotel, you're able to sleep so well? It's not only because you're on vacation and you feel less stressed, but also because most hotels have blackout blinds that literally block off the light so you can sleep. So if you can create that same dark environment in your own room, that can really help. You don't need anything fancy. I bought these paper blackout blinds from Lowe's and shaped it to my window. These were really helpful, especially when I had to work a graveyard shift and I needed to sleep during the daytime. I also love eye shades because they feel like pillows for my eyes. It blocks out the light and there's something just really comforting about them. Temperature is also important for a sleep environment. It's very difficult to fall asleep if it's too hot or too cold. Ideally, it should be somewhere between 60 to 70 degrees, but for me, I tend to get cold easily, so 67 degrees is best for me. Also, minimize distractions as best as you can. If you have roommates or your spouse or your dog snores, try using earbuds. Traditional earbuds are a little too big for my ear. They don't fit properly, so it doesn't block out the sounds. So I actually bought these smaller earbuds from Amazon that work really well. Another big distraction is your phone. Just the simple presence of having your phone next to your bed with the potential of it going off can cause anxiety and interfere with your sleep. So if you can, try leaving your phone outside your bedroom. The third method is to create a bedtime routine. Our bodies love routines. The routines become automatic, so our brains don't have to expend energy to think about what we're doing. The action of charging my phone and leaving it outside, then brushing my teeth, doing my face skincare routine, and then laying in bed and reading my Kindle for 20 minutes literally signals to my brain that, hey, it's time for bed, let's get sleepy. Number 4 is on the similar lines as the routine, having regularity. Have a regular sleep schedule. It's easy to sleep in on the weekends or on your days off, and honestly, sometimes you do need to catch up on sleep, but then it makes it harder to sleep later. Also, get regular aerobic exercise at least 30 minutes a day. Get your heart rate up. This is not only good for your sleep, but also for your overall physical and mental health. Don't exercise too close to bedtime because this can pump up your body and just make you more awake. Get rid of some of these bad habits. Avoid blue light 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Blue light is the light that comes from our phones, TVs, and computers. And blue light stimulates our brains to be more alert and therefore less sleepy. You can set your phone and computer to automatically change the screen to a warmer light a few hours before bedtime. If you're on a Mac, go to Settings, Displays, and night shift. Another thing is avoid caffeine past noon. People have different sensitivities to caffeine. It takes about 5 to 6 hours for caffeine to be reduced to half the original amount, and it can take 10 hours to completely clear from your body. I am incredibly sensitive to caffeine, so I can't have caffeine past 10 a.m. Figure out what works best for you, but in general, avoid caffeine past noon. Avoid long daytime naps. I love taking naps, especially if I had a bad night's sleep the night before, but if you do need to take a nap, keep it to a quick 15 to 20 minute power nap early in the day. Anything more than that will affect your sleep later that night. Ladies, this one's for you. The time before the time of the month, aka PMS, just brings on so many unwelcome surprises. From food cravings, to bloating, to mood swings, and yes, even insomnia can happen. To be honest, I don't think there's anything new or groundbreaking that can be done here. Yes, you should eat healthy, exercise, manage stress, etc. But in the end, our hormones are just our hormones. They're what make us female and human. So instead of fighting it, I just learned to accept it. Now, because insomnia is so common, there are many different sleeping aids out there. However, I like to stay as natural as possible. So the only pill that I personally take occasionally is melatonin. Melatonin is a natural hormone that our brains produce to promote sleep. I also drink teas like chamomile and bedtime tea, which I find to be relaxing. There are pills such as Benadryl, which are used for allergies and itching, but some people use it for sleep. But they have anticholinergic properties, which can potentially cause memory loss and other side effects. Ambien is another sleeping aid, but again, there's a lot of side effects. Remember, the goal here is to address the underlying cause and not to just cover it up with band-aids. Lastly, rule out medical conditions. Sometimes you can do all of these things, but if you actually have a medical condition that's the cause of your insomnia, then you need to address that first. So go see your doctor and get regular checkups. If you made it to this part of the video, then thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips help you fall and stay asleep naturally. Let me know in the comments below if you have insomnia and what works best for you. As always, hit that like and subscribe button for more awesome videos. Bye for now!